Welcome to Dimensional Shift, where we explore and actively deprogram ourselves, seek the truth of reality through expanding our perceptions, and focus on full remembrance of our true selves. As we begin to connect to our true selves, we will also see the truth of this illusory reality and the way it controls us through our manipulated perceptions. As soon as we fully remember our true selves, we will also see the enemy for what it is and how to rebalance the system by freeing ourselves and assisting others to do the same, creating a domino effect into the evolution of human consciousness. Welcome back to Dimensional Shift. You'd think after 34 episodes this would be easier, but I think every week it gets harder to record this podcast. And it's not because I'm busier, it's not because I don't have things to talk about to share with you. It just seems like it gets harder every week to overcome the obstacles and suppression that kind of pushes in on me every week. So Thursday night I was having a chat with a new person on Discord, and we were talking about this astral / pineal gland kind of concept, and I launched into a bit about how when we die, the point is to completely skip the astral plane. And Discord shut down, like we got cut off. And so that's always a clue to me of, hey, you actually need to talk about that. Things like that try and steer me away from something, I always end up pushing back on. It's almost like they try and flag me to one side and instead I go to the other side. There are several different aspects of our human experience here. One, of course, being the physical body. We have the mental body, we have the subtle or energetic body, which would also be what you would be projecting into the astral realms, as well as your spirit and consciousness. It all kind of comes together to make who we are here, which of course has been conditioned and programmed to actually be not who we are, but that's for a different episode. Today we want to focus on the actual subtle body, the energetic body, which is typically influenced through emotions. It's the emotion and that emotional energy that we create and that we experience that create our subtle body. The interesting part is the subtle body is a tool, just like our physical body is. It's part of us, but it's not the culmination of all of us, and it's not the pinnacle of spirituality. We have been systematically disconnected from that part of our body because the point is that they've been compartmentalizing all of this within us, within our experience. And so we get very excited when we start working with energy and we start astral projecting and lucid dreaming and all of that. But we often get trapped there. We think that that's the ultimate experience. We start chasing that instead of going the one step further into the consciousness realm. It's not really a realm, that's kind of a misnomer. In quantum physics, the base of matter is energy. Everything that we see is energy when you get down to a low enough level within quantum physics. But that energy is actually in these kind of geometric patterns. If you think of what people on psychedelics see, the sacred geometry, that's the frequency that the quantum particles are vibrating at. But the interesting part is there's a plan for the way that these electromagnetic fields are vibrating. And that plan is created by consciousness. Because consciousness literally creates reality in a vibrational and a physical way, that is why it is so desperately programmed and conditioned, and we are distracted day in, day out, and we're caught in time loops of days and months and years. It's all to keep us distracted from creating the reality, bringing that consciousness through a conscious intuitive choice to create the reality that we want rather than the one they want. So the astral realm, your subtle body, they're tools. Don't stop there. Don't chase astral projection, the lucid dreaming. If you can learn those as a side note or for fun, or if you have some information that you want to get there, if you're trying to access past lives and things, good, do it. There is info to be had there, but don't get stuck there. And when you're starting out, be careful of the consequences that may happen when you start to do that. You need to be very certain that you can use discernment with any entity you meet, and that you can protect yourself and your physical body while you're not physically in your body. So I don't want to discourage astral projection. I don't want to discourage lucid dreaming. A lot of that stuff will start happening naturally as you start meditating more and connecting to consciousness. All of that will kind of naturally come back online, or it will download back into you. There is a lot of usefulness for the subtle body and actual energy work. The subtle body and energy have been used for millennia, and you can call it manifestation, you can call it magic, you can call it miracles. It's literally all the same thing. It's directing the energy with your consciousness to create an effect in the reality. I think that was something I had to kind of sort out in my mind, because for some reason I really, really dislike the word manifestation. And I think it's because it's been so closely tied in my head with manifesting millions of dollars and all that. It's been very watered down and diluted. But reframing it in the sense of magic or miracles or whatever else kind of helps get around that roadblock for me. I also want to make a point that you can have an astral experience or an energetic subtle body experience while you're still in your body. You don't have to astral project in order to sense entities around you, in order to recall past lives or experience past lives. All of that kind of stuff can happen in your body too. Astral projection is quite difficult. Most people start doing it spontaneously for brief moments at first, but it can take a lot of work to get there. So instead of focusing just on astral projection, start thinking about it in terms of what can you sense in your subtle body while you're still in your physical body. The pineal gland is the physical point in your body and your brain where the frequencies from the astral realm come into your physical body. I think. That's my theory. I'm not going to say that with absolute scientific certainty, but that's my ongoing theory right now. And these tones that we get in our ears, where we hear the ringing in our ears, and it's often accompanied by messages or downloads or something like that, that is how our body and our limited mind, the perception of our mind, interprets that information coming in. It sounds like a ringing in our ears, or maybe we feel a little bit of pressure on the side of our head or in our ear. That's your mind trying to understand what you're sensing with your subtle body and that information that's coming through. Again, just another theory. It's kind of what I'm going with right now. We've forgotten that that's how we receive information from other realms. That sound and that feeling is normal. We just have to remember how to interpret it. The push to get everyone to open their third eye is sort of an agenda. Just like calcifying the pineal gland is also an agenda. Both sides always have an agenda, and neither one is for our benefit, ever. So the third eye is basically a spiritual concept for the way the pineal gland works. And there's a reason that all of these secret societies and cults and occult groups and things use the symbol of the all-seeing eye. So while opening your third eye can be helpful if you're ready for it and you know what you're doing, people rushing in and opening their third eye to all of the energies and frequencies of the astral realm can be detrimental in a lot of ways, and it can be kind of traumatic. On the other hand, calcifying the pineal gland doesn't actually reduce the frequencies that we receive, such as the fear frequency and the distortion frequencies and the distraction frequencies. It just prevents us from sensing where it's coming from, or even from remembering how the subtle body and the astral realm work. So both sides have an agenda. Use extreme discernment and make sure you're prepared when you start doing these things. So when I got disconnected from Discord the other night, it was because I was half downloading as I was talking about this idea that when we die and we, quote, escape the matrix, we shouldn't be attached to the astral realm either. It's just like a realm with our physical body. It's another limitation. The point to me would be to go back to consciousness. We could think of the mind of source or God, however you want to think of that, the unified field, whatever it is. The astral body is another segment of us, but it's not the culmination of who we are. And the occult forces that we sense and that we feel controlling the system and contriving all of these obstacles, the astral realm is their realm, at least for right now. Another talk for another day maybe, but as of right now, there's more danger than there is help in the astral realm. So make sure that you're seeking consciousness, seeking to expand your consciousness and awaken to download your true self, your higher self. And you can do that by moving your consciousness out of your head and down into your chest center. Now put aside all of the cliches of open your heart and home is where the heart is and all these weird things, although they're true, which is why the concept has been degraded so much. But move your attention from your head to your chest center. It's not necessarily right over your heart, and it might be higher or lower than you expected. You can close your eyes and take a few deep breaths and imagine a whirlpool over your chest, rotating clockwise. This is going to open the vortex to start downloading some of the information and getting the messages and the connection to source that you want. Take a few deep breaths, breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth, and exhale longer than you inhale. Open the vortex in your chest and start feeling your consciousness expand. And if this is new for you, you may feel kind of emotional. You could feel kind of dizzy or expansive, maybe limitless. You might have full body tingles. That's a really good sign that you're sensing your subtle body. And eventually you will start to understand what connecting to source and your true self feels like. But it has to be done there, not in your head, not through your third eye, not through visualization. If you're imagining something up in your head, you're not experiencing it from your connection to source. So do this kind of practice daily. It doesn't have to be an intense, long, deep meditation. I do recommend everybody meditates daily. But even if you only have 2 or 3 minutes, just take some deep breaths, move your attention away from all the busyness in your head, and pull yourself back down into your body, because in the body is where we have experiences. And if you're not consciously using your body, making intuitive choices, being a consciously embodied person, your mind is distracted in something else, even if it's just programming, autopilot, whatever it is, something else is running your body, making your choices, and using your voice. If you found this episode helpful or insightful, please share it with a friend and leave a review or comment. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. I host twice weekly open discussions on the podcast topic on our Discord server. If you'd like to join, head to dimensionalshifter.com/Discord. If you're on Reddit, come join the subreddit r/Dimensional Shifters or send me a DM. My username is Dimensional Shifter. Keep deprogramming, keep connecting, keep listening to your intuition. This is it. This is what we've been searching for our whole lives. Connection to our true selves.